Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are still working on a variety of things, including getting homesteading enacted, which is going to be very important for our long-term viability. So let's take a look at Brazilian naval power. I don't think I got a chance to read this one, but ever since independence, the Brazilian Navy has played a crucial role in safeguarding our sovereignty. We must strive to be the foremost naval power in South America, among the greatest in the world. So we need to be in the top 10 naval power projection-wise. In order to do that, we need to build a bigger navy. I'm not going to do this right now, but it is something to shoot for in the medium term. Looks like our armies are mostly restored from a manpower perspective. Let me take a look at this one. We got one battalion short here. These ones are kind of tight. We'll close out that one. And then Lancers, we close out that one, maybe. Yeah, I think I'm just going to close out all of these regiments that are not able to really fully hire. And then we'll put them somewhere else. So we need... Let me see, where have we got labor available? Labor and infrastructure. Although barracks don't take that much infrastructure, so I think it'll be fine. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of cavalry. Yeah, here we go. Well, Pernambuco is actually a good place to put stuff. To put armies. And then Ejército de Amazonas is really, really short on everything. That one can go. This one can for sure go. Actually, you know what? We're just going to disband that army. And he'll go... He's... I don't know where those units wound up. Well, that's okay. I think maybe Ejército do Sol. So I'm going to put a little bit... I'm just going to sort of round these armies out. Great Britain wants a defensive pact. Ooh. It would be nice to have Great Britain on my side. You know what? I'm going to do it. And then we'll put a few more artillery units in here. A few more Lancer units. And then we'll do the same for this army. We'll do 3 units of skirmish infantry, couple of our... Yeah, we'll do 3 of artillery and 2 more Lancers. And that'll be good. That'll be a big army buildup, but it'll be worthwhile. Iron is expensive in the market. That's completely okay. We are still working on getting our iron output increased, but we're building a couple of mines, so that's good. And I think as soon as those mines get finished out, we're going to basically immediately go to building up enough iron to put all of our construction sectors on iron, because that's going to make our economy grow even faster. Media endorsements. The Voice of Belo Horizonte, a popular newspaper read by the industrialist class across Brazil, has published an article by Aurelio Osorio advocating for the enactment of homesteading. Putting out a newspaper without promotion is like winking at a girl in the dark. Well-intentioned, but ineffective. Who are we to counteract the voice of the people? Extra enactment chance and reduced enactment time? Or offer our thanks to the publisher, a little bit of each, stronger industrialists? I'm going to go with the first one. I don't need the industrialists any stronger than they currently are. They're very strong already, so, you know. Happy to live with that as much as we can. Do we have an election in progress? We don't. Alright. And we're pretty much sorted out with this thing. I think one more month will be good to go with the assassination plot. So I'm feeling very confident. We got a lot of years for Brazilian naval power, also for integration. We just need the paulistas. We need a national hero who can be used for propaganda. So we'll keep an eye on that. And we've actually solved our, well, not solved, we're still working on solving our iron issue. But that's going to be a process. We don't have any infamy, so we can go ahead and get infamous. Let me see, Peru Bolivia still has a truce with us for another 7 months, but they're a good expansion target. We could grab, well, they've integrated their, that territory there. I forget what it was called. We are increasing education. I think we're going to hold on that for now, at least until we've got the government and administrative capacity for it. So this increase in iron mines are producing 40 iron a pop, and soon they're going to be producing more. So let's look into that. We need, there's power of the purse. That's nice. We're going to do water tube boiler next. That's also going to further increase the efficiency of our mines. After that, I think it's going to be nitro. Everyone likes nitro. On the other hand, getting percussion cap would allow us to be completely self-sufficient from a military goods standpoint. So I might want to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna queue that in. Then we'll do water tube boiler. So, Catholic Church petition government. Representing its constituents in the Catholic Church. Hey, another success in homesteading. Wonderful. Representing its constituents in the Catholic Church, Nino Santos has issued a formal petition to the Brazilian government to pass religious schools. One last matter for the day, sir. Members of your constituency arrived this morning. They're asking rather loudly and insistently if you would meet with them about new legislation. Well, is that it? Goodness, you seem as if you've seen a ghost. I'm sure I can spare the last hours of the light for them, can't I? I believe so, sir. They weren't taking no for an answer. We'll see what we can do. They want religious schools. They must understand the present situation does not allow for this. I'm going to do the second one. Well, actually, let me look at the party comps now. So, Free Trade Party is its own thing. If we put them out and bring the armed forces in, we would have an extremely legitimate government. I would be able to do that. On the other hand, no, private schools are too important. This is religious schools. No, I'm sorry, Catholic Church. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, I can't make New Granada a protectorate, because we're a minor power and so are they. Venezuela is an insignificant power. I could make them a protectorate. It would be 8 infamy. I would like to. But I got a big military expansion I'm still working on. So maybe we'll shelve that for the moment. We're getting a certain amount of iron from trade routes, but not that much of it. Let me see. We currently have 2 construction sectors on iron, and that's costing 100 iron. So if we put 4 more in, that'll cost another 200 iron. We'll basically be able to tolerate that once we get this next iron mine under operational. It's gonna hurt. Hey, are you gonna get finished here? I feel like this should be getting finished, but it's not getting finished. We're almost certain about who the assassination plotters are. Over a drink. In an obscure meeting, Aurelio Osorio, and a proxy of the rural folk, rambled at length about the positives of homesteading. One was cognizant enough to take minutes. Well, that's the problem with the new law. If you don't remove those other supporting laws, someone can exploit those loopholes to escape its reach. Unless you count the 2 laws about evasion without plausible doubt, then you have a crafty seal that catches those rogue actors. Commend them for their work. Both get stronger and more. They both get stronger, and we get some enactment chance. or matters of government are for government. Matters of governance are for government, not dens of sin. 70% chance they both get happier. One of them gets martyred. 25% chance they get martyred. You know what? I'm just going to go with the first one. Stronger and happier is good for both of these guys. Democratic solidarity. In a pro-suffrage gesture, Aurelio Osorio has released a positive endorsement of the Liberal Party for its stalwart support of voting rights in Brazil. There is no issue in our constitutional empire greater than that of the franchise, that method through which the people may decide any future issue which comes their way. With this in mind, my endorsement should come as no surprise. The Liberal Party is the guardian of Brazilian franchise, 30% momentum, or perhaps some party members more than others. Interesting. This boosts the Catholic Church. I'm going to go with maximum momentum here. The Invisible Man, an empty seat. A clandestine meeting organized by members of the Landowners has been discovered. While they swear the purpose was purely financial, many are those who suspect their connection to the assassination plotters. The voices reach the street remarkably clear considering their intentions. The sound of glass can only be heard from the interior, however. Their faces lose clarity when reflected on the wine. They've been in there all day, says a florist, her callous hands pointing with disdain. Saw them coming when I was opening the shop. They didn't even come out for lunch. Just looks like a party. Landowners happier, or rather suspicious indeed. So this will give us some progress. It'll make the landowners unhappy, but again, I don't care about that, so I'm going to do this. Oh. Well, I thought I was basically about to finish that. What happened? Okay, well, this is a shame. Emperor Pedro de Berganza has been assassinated by an individual associated with the landowners. Authorities were aware of the plot, but unable to stop it. The ruler was visiting the town square when a young woman stepped out and fired multiple shots into the ruler, fatally injuring them. Luckily, the assassin was quickly detained. So we lose a ton of authority and bureaucracy. But we completed the Magnanimous monarch, and we got a little achievement called Magnanimous. With the solemn passing of Emperor Pedro II, a week of mourning has been declared all across Brazil. His reign will surely be remembered as one of the greatest periods of the nation's history. Plans must now begin for the coronation of Prudente de Beaurepaire Rohan, who the people look to with admiration and respect to lead them onwards. When old tales once held that heaven weeps when a great man dies, when Dom Pedro of Braganza died, there was scarcely a moment without rain. Tens of thousands lined his funeral procession, wearing black and flying Brazilian flags. Dignitaries from as far as Japan bore witness to the event, each laying forth their own tokens of respect. The heavy crown that once harrowed his fathers now loomed over his. Prudente would have a near impossible task ahead, to fill the shoes of Dom Pedro II, the Magnanimous. The emperor is dead. Long live the emperor. 10% of Brazilian pops become more loyalist. Interest groups were more likely to choose progressive leaders in the future. Prudente de Beaurepaire Rohan gets popular monarch. Interest groups strengthen popularity. Okay. Well, sad. But you're an industrialists guy. That's garbage. I just spent all this... And you're not even a de Braganza, are you? You're a jingoist. You head up the industrialists. You're bigoted and a diplomat. That's not a great combination of things, my guy. Well, alright. We'll see how things go. For the moment, we are a little bit short on governing capacity, although we've got a government administration under construction right now. So that's interesting. I really thought I was going to have a more... I really thought I basically clinched it. This has been a little bit of a tough run, I will say. I feel like the assassination plot was not as transparent about the situation as I thought it was going to be. Like the slavery thing that happened at the beginning, that was on me. That was just me goofing up. But the whole situation with the assassination plot, we were at 23 out of 24 with that, so I really felt like we were good to go. Anyway, It should be fine. We'll have more to do, and that'll be alright. Do I want to cut a tax? I think I do. And there's homesteading. Perfect. So that'll give us a chunk of loyalists as well. We'll get our election in 10 days, and then we'll see kind of how... Now they want slavery. We'll see how things go. We'll see how things go. Alright, so there's the election results. The Liberal Party has 66% of the vote. The Free Trade Party, 28%. So where can we get maximum... If I put the Conservatives in, it'll reduce it now, because I should keep the Free Trade Party in. But this is the most legitimate government I can find. So at the moment, we're still forming a government that's functionally the same four parties that we had before. So, what else do we want to change? I definitely would like to have private health insurance, but I don't have pharmaceuticals yet, so I can't do that. I could increase the franchise. I could go to census suffrage. Obviously, the landowners would be extremely unhappy, but whatever. They don't run this country. I do. I am the emperor. Perdente de Boroper Rohan. Oh, I've been consuming a lot of Lord of the Rings content. It's hard not to read this as Boroper Rohan. But I'm gonna have to contain myself. Could go to free trade. I have a lot of options. I could liberalize the citizenship to cultural exclusion. Rural folk would be unhappy, but they'll tolerate it. Catholic Church, same. I would like to do that. But it's not a priority. And I think increasing the franchise is going to be really important. So let's go ahead and go to census suffrage. Obviously that's going to make a bunch of landowners mad, but that is what it is. And we're good on authority now that we've repealed that tax. We're pretty much just at the point of being able to get enough bureaucracy to do this. So I'm feeling good overall in terms of our capabilities. And that should improve our finances just a little bit. We are, I think, just under our limit right now, so I can pop taxes back up to medium. That's actually given us a pretty solid buffer from a taxation perspective. Well, now there's a bunch more buy orders in the market. Oh, trade routes. Don't. All right, let's reduce the amount of people buying the iron out of our market first of all, and then we'll worry about other stuff. Bahia is short on market access again, so unfortunately we're going to have to build ourselves... Well, I'll be able to build a railroad there when the time comes, because railroad's going to finish itself off in 9 weeks, and then we'll have a lot of opportunities once we've gotten our big military expansion done away with. Finances are holding right around 0, so that's very good. And construction is going much faster. Trade agreement with the United States? Absolutely. That is going to be very good for us. Auto Empire sides with Great Britain in the battle against radical Lower Canada. I doubt that my assistance will be needed for this. Guarani. An Argentine Confederation. Oh, they're fighting those guys again. Well, that'll be fine. So, Peru, Bolivia. We are no longer in a truce. So, let's see if we can steal a little bit more of Peru, Bolivia. Jujuy has gold mine slots available. That'd be good. Oh, Potosi has... Oh, Potosi! There's a mountain full of gold there. I want that place. La Paz is where all their industry is. So let's see what we get in terms of infamy. If we try to grab, we got 6.1 for Jujuy, 7.0 for Potosi. So let's see. 28 battalions though. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. We'll give it some time building up our barracks. I need to dial it back, because I'm going a little fast with things. I have good relations with many of my neighbors. We're amicable with the Argentine Confederation. We're amicable with Chile. We're amicable with South Peru. Oh, actually, we should improve relations with South Peru since they're my puppet. And there's railways. Perfect. And I'll go ahead and improve relations with North Peru as well, since they're independent. We're amicable with Ecuador, New Granada, and Venezuela. The Contagious Diseases Act. A Catholic church in Uruguay, led by Nilo Santos, are demanding that the government take a stance on prostitution. They request the enforcement of laws that allow police to detain women suspected of being prostitutes in lock hospitals on the grounds that they spread venereal disease. These fallen women are an affront to moral propriety. They must be contained and treated, lest they spread their sinful diseases across the nation. If we enact a Contagious Diseases Act, Uruguay gets -2 standard of living for the lower strata for 19 years. Oh, that's brutal. Or we could say these laws are humane and have the Catholic Church be minorly upset. I'm going to go with the second one. I don't much care for that at all. I can't believe this. Hey, law debate success, 29%. We do have a 19% stall chance. That's the power of the industrialists in our government. But I can't do anything about that right now. Let's take another look at our government. Because the landowners are... Oops. Britain wants us in the customs union. Oh, I need to think about this, because it sure would be nice to be in a large customs union, but I don't... I'm going to say no. I want to maintain my own customs union. That's the way I want to play the game. I don't want to be reliant on the British for these things. Any agitators I can get? I can get quite a few. Most of the guys who want to do slavery, though, so probably not worth it. So, let me see. So that guy dying means the Catholic Church is headed up by an abolitionist once again. Cool. Unless that was the rural folk guy? Not sure. Nah, I can't get more legitimacy than I currently got, which is a shame. But it is what it is. Alright, so how long are these going to take? They're going to take a minute. This one, because it's in a place that's got a lot of woods, is going to take longer. But, you know, that just kind of is what it is. I'm going to need to queue up another iron mine. So, let's put that in... Ah, right. I'm seeing my issue. Let's put that in Mato Grosso. There's some labor available there. In fact, we're going to put 2 of those in Mato Grosso. Got 2 bonuses here. Oh, yes. Some of them are, some of them aren't. So I think after that, we'll get started. I've got a construction queue full of stuff. So I think after that... Oh, I'm going to go to Power of the Purse, obviously. We'll do secular admin for everything. Alright, after that, I think we're doing railways. We need one in Minas Gerais. We need one in Bahia. We basically need one in most of these northern areas as well. Anywhere where we're a little rough on infrastructure, which is virtually everywhere. Well, not the south as much. Yeah, what about these 2 zones? Yeah, we need them in these places as well. So that's going to be a long project. Especially the one in Amazonas, because it's got that that debuff to construction speed. But we'll just have to deal with it, friends. That's the only way to go here. Because we've got to get our railways built. We've got to get our army expanded. We got a lot on the agenda. Paulo Constant. He wants laissez-faire. He's a market liberal aligned with the industrialists. That's interesting. I don't think he's going to actually change things. An ultimatum. The industrialists have issued a stern ultimatum to Paulo Constant about towing the party's line on the proposal for censor suffrage. Paulo Constant is determined to resist. The matter wedged the caucus, and it was by their own making. Meanwhile, the issue at hand had given way to this fallout. Sheer stubbornness is what fuels it, with pride wagered in the gamble. Nothing will proceed without a timely resolution to this. Never interrupt an opponent when they're making a mistake. 60% chance of stronger industrialists. 40% chance of 2% of industrialist pops become more radical. And 10% enactment chance, or will welcome any dissidents. Constant gets 20 popularity, and the industrialists get weaker. I'm going to go with the first one. Hey, we got the 10%. So that's very good. That'll get us faster in here. We do have some good healthy chance of an advance and success at this point, so I'm feeling pretty good as well. Yeah, I know iron's expensive in the market. Let me see if I can import some iron. Prussia's outputting a lot of iron. Get some from there. That's actually helped things a little bit. And of course, our trade route... Is that an us trade route exporting iron? Can't be, right? No, it isn't. Well, all of our iron trade routes are flexing right now. We can go ahead and skip this trade route. That's not adding much. This one too. Oh, this one's heckin' unprofitable. Don't need that. Don't need that. Oh, but that's all of our artillery. That's what's going on. So I actually do need to import artillery because I don't have any artillery factories. And get it most cheaply from France. And that's just going to have to be how we do it, because I got to have artillery for the artillery I'm equipping my armies with. I am slowly reducing my my positive balance, but that's all right. We're going to do a big military reform, and then we're going to do a little bit of adventurism. Let me see. I got a lot more governing capacity than I thought I was going to have. So maybe we'll go ahead and increase law enforcement a little, or maybe we'll just wait and hold on this. This does give us a passive small bonus to state construction efficiency, which is nice to have. So maybe we'll just keep that for now. Alright, I'm going to go up to speed 5. I think we're building as fast as we want to build. Finances got way better for a second, but only for a second. I think things were very silly for a moment. Alright, so yeah, so I think once we're good to go with most of these construction projects, most of these barracks, I think we're going to go ahead with getting fighty with our neighbors over in Peru, Bolivia. So who are we trying to advance past from a ranking perspective? We need to beat Japan. Are we unrecognized? Desperate allies. The proposal for census suffrage is sat in a deadlock. The intelligentsia have advocated for enlisting Paulo Constante's assistance and rallying the industrialists in favor of the government. There, upon the cusp of a division, everyone sees that nobody has a majority yet. One by one it dawns on them. The loose cannons, led by the most rabid dog of the bunch, have the votes they need. But who among them would be the first to climb off their ivory tower to win their favor? Make overtures to the undecided, 20% enactment chance, 15% stronger industrialists. Slander the opposition to oblivion. Louis Labattu gets reduced. He's the industrialists guy, and then Martin Francisco Ribera de Andrada is a different guy in the industrialists. He gets a reduction in popularity, and we get 10% enactment chance. Or forge ahead without them, we can win. This makes the intelligentsia stronger and reduces enactment chance. You know, I'm going to go with the first one. Make overtures to the undecided. That's going to make our chances way, way better. In fact, we've pretty much edged out the chances of a debate event completely at this point by rapidly increasing success chance beyond 60%. So here's hoping we can get a few little bumps on this. Oh, interesting. Finances improved again a bunch. I think this is when the private construction queue sorts itself out for a second and builds less or builds more for a second and then doesn't build anymore. I think that's what's causing this weird fluctuating amount. But I could be completely wrong, obviously. Yeah, 20 construction at once is basically a pretty solid place to be overall. Obviously, importing iron is not ideal for the country, but it's what we gotta do, so That's just the nature of things. So, we're currently at 22 battalions. Let me take a look at the production methods of the battalions that Peru Bolivia is rocking. They've got line infantry and mobile artillery, so they're not slouching. They're not slouching on us the way they have done in previous wars. And our other neighbors are probably equally in that same position. What about you, Chile? 17.2 battalions. And you've got a bunch more under construction. You've got some lancers, mobile artillery, and line infantry. I'm still the only one who's rocking skirmish infantry around here. So I'm feeling pretty confident in my ability to win most of my basic wars in South America. But obviously, intervention from outside powers could potentially spell a real problem for me. So I do need to be cognizant of that. All right. Alright, now I'm just expanding the Ejército Imperial Brasileiro. And Peru Bolivia is improving relations, which I think they can see the way the wind is blowing. But I don't know that it's really going to help them much. And obviously we're relying on imports for our ammunition needs, but that just is what it is. Oh boy, nationalism. It gives us a little bit of extra authority, so let's go ahead and throw another consumption tax on. We'll do coffee this time around. Denmark is rivaling us back, which is just fine. The old authority. The census suffrage reform threatens the power held by many leading figures in Brazil, some of whom are using the political connections they have to obstruct its passing. Between you and me, there are far too many high-minded idealists involved in this. They find something noble in giving up their own influence, spreading it to the masses like alms to the poor. Perhaps they think it will save their souls or their legacies. I'm more practically inclined. I'm concerned with the immediate future of myself and my friends. I can count you among those, can't I? They must be ousted from their positions of power if they try to stop the new law. 2% of upper stratum pops can become more radical and one setback. Or perhaps we can collaborate with them in the creation of the new system. Minus 15% enactment chance. I got 60%. I'm going to go with the first one. I can tank a setback. I got 59% success chance, 17% advance chance. I'm feeling pretty confident about census suffrage. I can do this. Alright, so once we got percussion cap, then it'll just be a matter of building up the necessary factories. So we can put... I do want to not have to rely on other people for my coal, but I think it is necessary. So let's get the explosives factories actually running first. And then once we get percussion cap finished out, and we've got percussion cap, then I'll queue in the munitions plants. And then at that point, we'll be producing all of our own... Or no, we won't, because munitions plants... Because fertilizer plants produce fertilizer, and explosives factories require fertilizer to function. And they both take sulfur, which we don't produce any of, and which we are not capable of producing any of, which is a real problem. Well, we're gonna have to import sulfur. Someone's... Oh! Hold on. South Peru, I think, is actually producing sulfur over there, which is nice, and that makes holding them in our customs union very, very useful to us. So maybe as we continue to take territory from Peru, Bolivia, we'll be able to continue to increase our sulfur situation. Alright, so that's percussion cap just about to finish itself out. Perfect. Let's go ahead and get a set of munitions plants queued up. We'll put them in Rio de Janeiro, because that's our capital and industrial center. We'll put these up here, and we'll put them right after all the other stuff that we need in order to do all the things we want. For now, though, that is all we've got time for this episode. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.